नमस्ते प्रणाम गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। O Bhagavad Gita, with which Lord Narayana himself gave enlightenment to Partha, the ancient sage Vyasa included it in the Mahabharata. O Goddess, showerer of the nectar-like knowledge of non-dualism contained in your 18 chapters, O my affectionate mother, the destroyer of rebirth, I meditate upon thee. Krishna Vandana. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Son of Vasudeva, the slayer of Kansa and Chanur, extreme delight for Mother Devaki, O Lord Krishna, the supreme teacher of the universe, my salutations to you. Our reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the 18th Adhyaya, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, and Sri Krishna taking us towards that the point of liberation, point of moksha, by the great discourse that he has taught Arjuna from the second Adhyaya to the previous Shloka of the 18th Adhyaya. And the last shlok that we read, that was the last utterance of Sri Krishna in this Bhagavad Gita, the 72nd shlok that we read last, where Sri Krishna, being a good teacher, Sri Krishna wants to know whether his teaching has in any way helped his pupil. Has his pupil grasped any essence of the teachings of the great master, the great teacher? And Sri Krishna had asked Arjuna that Kachideta Chutam Partha, O Partha, have you heard what I told to you, what I have taught you with Tvai Ekagrena Chetasa? Have you listened to my teachings with single-pointed attention? With the rapt attention, have you listened to my teachings? And if that is so, O Partha, and if that is so, O Dhananjaya, has that teaching be of any help to you? Kachit jnanam sammohaḥ pranashtaste Dhananjaya. Kachit ajnanam. Has this teaching helped you in getting rid of pranashtaste, getting rid of ajnanam and sammoha, O Dhananjaya? Has that teaching, which hopefully you have listened with rapt attention. Have you listened it with rapt attention? My teachings that I have taught you in such a elaborate discourse. Has that teaching been of any help? Or has that teaching that of mine destroyed your ignorance and the delusion under which you were running away from what you are supposed to do, O Dhananjaya? A clear-cut, direct question at the end of completion of the syllabus. Completion of the course that Sri Krishna is teaching Arjuna. So that was a very frank question. Why this question? Because Sri Krishna wants to know whether Arjuna has really understood what is told to him. Arjuna is capable of grasping everything, that much is for sure. But the spell of that delusion was so tremendous that a Mahabaho like Arjuna was running away from the battlefield. That was tremendous jolt. Arjuna running away, Arjuna slumping in the board of that chariot, footboard of the chariot, just throwing away his bow and arrows. I will not fight. Now Arjuna talking like this, that kind of huge delusion, that kind of huge depression had come upon him. That was the height of despondency that had caught on Arjuna. And therefore, Sri Krishna wanted to make sure, now if this fellow has to again pick up the bow and arrow with the intention to fight, let me be sure whether he has really understood what I have taught or not. Has he assimilated my teachings? Has he grasped the essence of my teachings? If that is not so, I will have to repeat the Bhagavad Gita again from 19th Adhyaya. Then that is what Sri Krishna is thinking now. With that intent possibly, Sri Krishna finally asked this question to Arjuna. Baba, has it done any good to you? I have spoken so much. I have just uncovered each and every aspect of your being part of this creation. How beings get, birth in the creation, how they keep on working, how they keep on trapping themselves in the net of Maya, and they put themselves in a situation where they have to take birth again and again and again and again, millions and millions of births, till finally that intellect dawns upon them, and then they start the struggle for liberation. Then they end up into that position of being a mumukshu, of let me be free from this net of Maya. Let me be free from this janjal of the sansar. And then the real journey starts toward liberation. Now all these things Sri Krishna has told Arjuna. Sri Krishna has not left any stone unturned. He has not left any topic which is not covered in this syllabus of Purusha and Prakriti. Be it jnana, be it bhakti, be it karma, be it yoga, be it karma sannyasa, be it the showing his own nature, showing his own divine nature. And through all these things, Sri Krishna has taken Arjuna, showing his the vision of Purushottama. Having done all that, Sri Krishna now finally wants to confirm whether Arjuna has understood my teaching, whether it has helped him in getting rid of that ignorance and delusion. Because Sri Krishna knows once that ignorance and delusion is gone, then Arjuna will come back to his old self. Then he will be again that Mahabaho. He will be again that mighty warrior, because he has got such a huge task on his hands. So let us see now what Arjuna answers to Sri Krishna's question. This is the 73rd shloka that we are going to read today. Arjuna uvāca. naṣṭo mohaḥ smṛtirlabdhā tvatprasādānmayācyuta sthito'smi gatasandehaḥ kariṣye vacanaṃ tava. Now, all that ignorance, all that confusion, all that the delusion is wiped out from Arjuna. That veil has gone. Now Arjuna has understood the real meaning of who he is. What is his duty? What he is supposed to do? What is his relationship with Sri Krishna? Now Arjuna, all that knowledge has come back to Arjuna. All that knowledge has come back to Arjuna. All that devotion has sparked off in Arjuna. And now Arjuna knows what karma he is going to do. Now Arjuna says, naṣṭo mohaḥ smṛtirlabdhā tvatprasādānmayācyuta. Tvatprasādān, with your grace, O Achyuta. Achyuta is here a name of Sri Krishna. Achyuta is one who never deviates from his true nature. Achyuta. Achyuta is deviation. Deviation, one who never deviates from his or her true nature. That is the Achyuta. Arjuna had deviated from his true nature in the at the end of the first adhyaya. He had deviated from his true nature of being a true kshatriya, of protecting the righteousness, of wiping out the unrighteousness. Arjuna had deviated, but now Arjuna knows that deviating from this true nature was absolutely wrong. And therefore Arjuna addresses Sri Krishna as Achyuta. And with your grace, O Achyuta, with your blessings, O Achyuta, with your kind grace on me, O Achyuta, naṣṭo mohaḥ. That delusion has been destroyed. And the delusion having destroyed, maya smṛtirlabdhā. I have regained my memory. Now I have regained my original nature. Now I know who I am. I had made a great mistake. It was a great blunder to come under that spell of delusion when I asked you that I will not fight. That was the biggest mistake. Now that delusion has gone. Now all my memory, who I am, what I am supposed to do, everything is back now. smṛtirlabdhā, I have regained my memory. And sthito'smi. Oh Achyuta, if you are Achyuta, now I am also steady. Now I am also fixed. Now I am also determined. Gatasandehaḥ. All the doubts have vanished. Now there is no more confusion. There is no more dilemma. To be or not to be. That is not there. There is no confusion. There is no dilemma. There is no doubt. Everything, total clarity now. Total clarity of who am I and what I am going to do. And to that Arjuna says, what is he going to do? Arjuna is going to kariṣye vacanaṃ tava. Now I will do whatever you have told me. I will abide by your words only. Now I shall act according to your advice. I shall act according to your teachings. You have given me back my great understanding. You have given me that enlightenment. You have brought that illumination to me. Now I am going to do whatever you have advised me, whatever you have taught me, whatever your discourse has told me. So now Arjuna is absolutely clear. No more confusion, no more getting into that dejection, no more frustration. So what Arjuna was earlier, during the initial stages of the Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna had told Sri Krishna, come, take the chariot in front of the two armies, let me see who dares to fight against me. That was the true nature of Arjuna, with which he had asked Sri Krishna to take the chariot in between the two armies. He wanted to see all that army of the Kauravas, his unrighteous cousins. And then, having seen that huge array of the soldiers, warriors on both the sides, suddenly that veil of delusion, that veil of ignorance, it just brushed, it just got his intellect hidden. He could not think what is right, what is wrong. And having come under that spell of delusion, now suddenly that empathy, that generosity towards these evildoers, towards these wretched cousins of him, who had brought so much of evil in the lives of Pandavas, who had inflicted so much of torture in their lives. Suddenly, that the feeling of me, my brethren, it was awakened in Arjuna's heart, which was totally contrary to his true nature. Knowing that they are all unrighteous people, they need to be taught a dark lesson, a deep lesson they need to be taught. But Arjuna failed to that delusion. And then he just forgot who he was, slumped in the footboard of the chariot, bow and arrows out of his hands, and crying, he begged to Sri Krishna, Krishna, now I cannot fight. Please tell me what should I do. And then, feeling pity on his dear child, first Krishna, of course, he taught, he just took him left and right. From where this unmanliness has come upon you, O Arjuna? Arjuna had forgotten his true nature. And then, out of his grace, out of his love, out of his compassion for this dear child, Sri Krishna started his discourse of various yogas in the form of Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade. And now Arjuna says, that memory has come back to me. I know now who I am. I know what I have to do. Now I am steady. Now nobody can shake me. Now nothing in this world can again bring back that dejection that had come upon me. That will never happen again, because now I am going to do only what you are going to do. Because now there is no delusion. There is no doubt, there is no confusion. So this is Arjuna's reply to Sri Krishna in the 73rd shloka. And incidentally, with this shloka, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, the Sri Krishna Arjuna Samvade, gets over here in this Bhagavad Gita. Of course, there are few more verses that we are going to read, but those verses are attributed to Sanjaya. Arjuna has got the first-hand teaching from Sri Krishna. Sanjaya, like us, he has got a second-hand teaching through the Divya Drishti that Veda Vyasa provided him to see what is happening there on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That will come later on as our reading continues for the next few more verses. Now, on this particular the change that has come over Arjuna from what he was at the end of the first adhyaya, Arjuna Vishada Yoga, the despondent Arjuna, to this 73rd shloka Arjuna, where he says that smṛtirlabdhā, now I have regained my all my old memory, that my true nature, what I am, I know. All the mohaḥ has gone, naṣṭo mohaḥ, and all that delusion also wiped out, that gatasandehaḥ. All the naṣṭo mohaḥ, gatasandehaḥ, now smṛtirlabdhā, and now I am so steady with your grace. Without the Lord's grace, nothing happens. Let us be very clear on that. And Lord also has told us, with my grace, you will understand everything about this Purusha and Prakriti. What is your play? What role you are to play in this game of Purusha and Prakriti, in this game of creation? With His grace only, we can come to know about it. With His grace only, we can start becoming mumukshu from the Baddhajiv. We can start the strugglers towards liberation. We can start our journey. And through His grace, we will reach that end point of getting mokshatva, getting mukti, getting liberation, getting nirvana. So this is the transition that has taken place from the despondent Arjuna to smṛtirlabdhā. Now he knows who he is. All doubts gone, gatasandehaḥ, and naṣṭo sammoha. Now, on this, Sri Ramakrishna has given a wonderful example how this transition takes place from the lowliest of the lowly form to the most elevated, enlightened, illumined form. Sri Ramakrishna says, the tadpole can live both in water and on land after it sheds its tail. Tadpole is a stage of growth in the life of a frog. The tadpole is the frog with a tail, kind of. Now that tadpole can live till the time that tail is there. It cannot survive on land. That tadpole, that stage in the life of a frog. Till it is tadpole, it cannot survive on its own on land. So Sri Ramakrishna says tadpole can live both in water and on land after it sheds its tail. Till the tail is there, it has to be only water. No land. The tail of ignorance drops off. What has happened in case of Arjuna? Naṣṭo mohaḥ. Naṣṭo mohaḥ. The tail of ignorance is gone. The tail of ignorance drops off from man when he gets enlightened in Brahmajnana. Now that tail, the T-A-I-L, that tail of ignorance in the tadpole Arjuna has dropped. Now, he then becomes Jivan Mukta. The moment that ignorance vanishes, the moment that doubt vanishes, gatasandehaḥ, naṣṭo mohaḥ, then that jiva attains the true memory, smṛtirlabdhā, then the jiva knows, oh my God, what I have been doing all these millions of births and deaths that I have been undergoing? Such a foolishness. That is not me. Then comes the memory, then comes the realization, then comes the enlightenment, smṛtirlabdhā. And then the sadhaka, then the aspirant comes to know, who am I? Where do I belong? From where I came? And where I am going, where I have to go. All the things are so very clear. All the doubts are vanished. Gatasandehaḥ. There is crystal clarity of the things around. So this is what Sri Ramakrishna has said, that once that tail of the tadpole gets separated, once that tail of ignorance is cut off, there is Brahmajnana. And when Brahmajnana attains, he then becomes a Jivan Mukta, the liberated soul. He simultaneously lives in the world and rests in Brahman. This is the beauty of Sri Ramakrishna's teaching. Having got rid of that delusion, having got rid of that the wrong notions, having got rid of that wrong impressions, now that enlightened soul, at his will, at her will, can live either in the world or in the bliss of Brahman. The choice is theirs. Even living in this world, doing so many activities, they are not governed by the diktats of that activity. They are not bound by the chains of that activity, because they might be doing hundreds and thousands of activities throughout their lifetime. But then they don't work as I am the doer. They work as I am an instrument in the hand of the Lord. I am a mother's child. What mother makes me do, I do. It's as simple as that. So that breaking of the ignorance, that cutting off the tail of the tadpole, that makes one a Brahmajnani. And once that Brahmajnana, once that Atmajnana is attained, you can live anywhere. You can live in the world, you can live in Brahman. Then you can, wherever you wish. If I have some work to do, I become a man of the world. But internally, I am always the mother's child. So that is the dialogue between Sri Krishna and Arjuna, coming to end in this 73rd shloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the 18th adhyaya of Moksha Sannyasa Yoga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Sri Ramakrishna. Jai Thakur. Jai Ma. Jai Swamiji.